Natural Man Show. Hey everybody, it's Monday afternoon, lunchtime. Today, I've been talking about heart disease. I've been doing a series on heart disease about how you can prevent and reverse it. And you're not going to be told this by a lot of people. And so today I want to talk about diabetes, specifically type 2 diabetes, but these routines can also improve type 1 diabetes. Now, you've been told, and look, I don't have anything against medical doctors, I don't. But it seems like they're not very transparent with their patients because, maybe they're just doing what they've been taught all those years, but they'll tell you, well, there's no cure for type 2 diabetes, there's no cure for heart disease, all these things. But my dad is in the hospital right now, and I'm seeing all of this. They're not very transparent with the patient. They don't tell them anything about the procedures or the drugs, about how they have side effects, and there's always side effects to everything that they do, but they're telling my dad they're going to do surgery on him. They're telling him about all these good things about the surgery, and they don't say anything bad. Now, one thing may be because, if you have no medical training or any health training, you don't really know what to ask, okay? But I feel like the doctor should still be transparent with all the bad things too. Just don't color-code everything, because there's a lot of bad things. For example, type 2 diabetes. They'll tell you, okay, well, you have type 2 diabetes now, so now we're going to put you on like maybe metformin or some other anti-glycemic drug. Well, and I'm not trying to scare anybody, but this needs to be out there. People need to know this. It's their body, it's their health, it's their lives, okay? And you can ask your doctor, he may not be honest. Ask your pharmacist. If they're not honest, look it up yourself. But some of these, or ask your nurse, some of these anti-glycemic drugs over time actually damage your pancreatic function. So the pancreas can't produce insulin anymore. So you can take a type 2 diabetic and basically turn them into a type 1. And they don't tell you this. They also say, well, if you got type 2, well, you're going to be on this for the rest of your life. It doesn't have to be that way, okay? The school that I went to, Dr. Christopher's School of Natural Healing, they help people, I don't want to say heal their diabetes, because as long as they follow the lifestyles, they can get their sugar under control. But if they were to go back to their old habits, their sugar would get out of control again, more than likely. But he would give them herbs to rebuild the pancreatic function, herbs to rebuild the liver. All these things work together. It's not like see, another thing, doctors, they see things as different, like parts, like, okay, the liver's here, but it has nothing to do with the function of the pancreas and the stomach. Everything in this body, I'm telling you, it all works in harmony together. So when we work on people, we give herbs for every organ system, like I've been telling you for years on this channel. So a lot of my practitioners I learned that type 2 diabetes responds really good when you're eating a lot of raw food, a lot of raw vegetables, maybe not a lot of raw fruit, but a lot of raw vegetables and things. The reason being is your pancreas, it not only produces insulin, but it also has to produce digestive enzymes. And so if you eat a lot of cooked food, not only does your pancreas have to produce insulin, it also has to produce more digestive enzymes to break down the cooked food. But when you eat, so it's more of a burden on the pancreas. But when you eat raw food, the raw food is a lot easier for the body to digest because the raw food has its own enzymes still intact, so the body can break it down, and there's less strain on all the organ systems. And of course, plant-based diet is what we always recommend, because a low-fat plant-based diet, because one of the causes they found, and you can go look this up yourself, some of the medical studies, is that type 2 diabetes is caused by too much fat in the diet, and particularly too much saturated fat. They found that this fat gets into your muscle cells and kind of, coats it. You ever put like some oil, something, like some metal to protect it, at least it's film, okay, so it's a protector. Well, it coats your cells over time, and then when you eat something, and the insulin's trying to drive the blood sugar into your muscle cell, well, it's blocked because it's got a lipid layer over it, and so all the sugar cannot get into the muscle cell, And so you have sugar left behind in your bloodstream that over time can damage your body. You probably don't know this. Well, that's diabetes. But of course, you don't have to take my word for it. I mean, there's doctors doing it, like there's medical doctors, lifestyle, Dr. Fuhrman, Dr. Neil Bernard. They're helping people reverse type 2 diabetes on a plant-based diet, low fat. They don't use herbs, but I highly recommend herbs because some of these herbs rebuild organ function and rebuild organ integrity. Dr. Christopher had a formula for the pancreas. It's called the pancreas formula. Helps rebuild the function of the pancreas. And of course, exercise is going to have a huge part to play in all this too, and getting your stress down. And I'm not saying this is going to be overnight. Of course, it won't be overnight. If you want to reverse your type 2 diabetes, you're going to have to get on a solid program and follow it for as long as it takes. And then when you start to get your blood sugar down without medication, you're going to stay on the good lifestyle. So it's really up to you. Do you want to take the medication? And that's another thing. The medication, it doesn't prevent the damage that diabetes causes to the body. The only way to prevent that is to do all these wonderful natural lifestyle modifications. If you can do that, your body is not subjected to the damage anymore of high blood sugar. And and this is just an introduction. I just want people to know. I mean, I was talking to a girl today, and they call it this chronic disease, and like you have no control, and it's just the stress and the anxiety that must give you to think, well, I have this disease and there's nothing I can do about it. It's just taking over my body. And they're all telling me there's nothing I can do. There's a lot you can do, okay? I just want to get the word out there. If you have questions, feel free to ask them below the video. And I want to start offering online consultations for people. I got to get more tech savvy and figure out Zoom. But I just want to help people, and especially people with chronic diseases that have been told they have no hope. So, well, I hope this video has been informative and maybe, motivating for some of you. I don't know. I hope it is. If you like the video, like it, subscribe to my channel. Check out my page, DanTheNaturalMan.com. And remember, until next time, keep it natural.